All right, everybody, we're going to go ahead and get started. My name is David King. I'm with Appulate. I'm the Customer Success Manager here at Appulate. I primarily handle our partner relationships as well as our customer success team here at Appulate. I'm joined today with Jennifer Barrios from the Dual team. She's going to do a presentation today about their program. And then shortly after that presentation, I'm going to do a walkthrough of how to use the Appulate system as well as how to submit to the Dual platform itself. Today, all of your microphones have been muted. We do have a question and answer section on the right-hand tab. If you scroll down, there should be a questions area. Feel free to ask questions throughout the meeting and we'll try to answer them as quickly as possible. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Jennifer here. Jennifer, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, Jennifer's going to go ahead and present her screen in just a moment here. We'll get started.
Okay, let me know when you can see it.
Yep, I got it.
Awesome. Okay, well, good afternoon, and thank you all so much for being here today. My name is Jennifer Barrios. I am the Business Development Coordinator for Dual North America. Just a little bit of background on Dual. So we are a leading specialty program administrator. We do offer specialized property and casualty products. We are the underwriting arm of Haven Group Holdings. We have about 10 different offices located throughout the country, about 650 different team members that support around 40 different programs that we have. So why Dual? So Dual is one of the top 20 US MGAs with over $1 billion in GWP for 2024. We have a very experienced underwriting team. Dual has been a Lloyd's cover holder for over 30 years. Our IT teams have extensive knowledge with data reporting, which really helps to better understand and evaluate different risks. Our capacity consists of 3 different underwriting carrier partners that support our flood program. Our web reader helps to simplify the application process by enabling online quoting, instant binding, and offers e-signature and e-pay options. Dual can file excess and surplus lines taxes in all 50 states. And we do offer competitive commission. So jumping into the program. So our primary program is a nationwide non-admitted program. We have 2 Lloyd's carriers. One is led by Brit and the other is led by Chubb. And we recently added our 3rd facility, which is Berkshire Hathaway. Eligible properties for this program are going to be residential dwellings, commercial properties, apartments, multifamilies, condos, positively elevated risks in A or B zones. We typically like to see smaller risks under 5 million TIV with 5 or less buildings at one location. If it is an apartment complex, we do prefer to stay in that 6 to 8 building range at that one location with the TIV under 10 million. We can do coastal. However, we do prefer for that to be post-firm, so that's going to be anything that's built after 1974. And we can also look at things like hotels, motels, churches, casinos, just a variety of things. Just to note, the appetite does vary between all 3 carriers, so it really is best to try everything out because what may fit for one might not fit for the other, and vice versa. So limits available for this program, we can do up to 2 million coverage. That's going to be combined building and contents limit. We can offer BI loss of rents up to 500,000, ALE up to 5,000, and we can offer replacement cost adjustment. Minimum premium for this program is going to be $500 for residential and commercial properties. We also do have flexible deductibles that range from $1,000 up to $50,000. We don't have a waiting period on any new flood placements or loan closings, but anything without a mortgage or loan transaction will have a 7-day waiting period. Coverage is available in all flood zones, and on a submit for rate basis, we can look at properties with negative elevations or contents and or loss of income only risks. Exclusions are going to be risks located in NFIP emergency, suspension, or probation communities, foodstuffs and perishable goods, medical equipment, contents out in the open, mobile homes, manufactured, prefab homes are also excluded, properties built on stilts over water, repetitive loss risks, any properties located in non-participating communities or structures located in coastal barrier areas are going to be excluded. We also exclude things like pools, greenhouses, campsites, marinas, solar panel farms, and anything that has more content than building coverage. So an example of that would be like a grocery store. Going into our excess program. So our excess is very similar to our primary. It is also nationwide and not admitted. And it is important to offer excess coverage just to make sure the customer understands that a homeowner's policy is not going to cover those losses from a flood. So eligible properties are going to be the same thing, those residential dwellings, commercial properties, apartments, condos. And we do like to keep the TIV for this program to be under 50 million. The limits available here, we can do up to 15 million coverage combined buildings and contents. And we do offer BI loss events up to 500,000. Again, no waiting period on any new flood placements. Coverage is available in all flood zones. We can offer blanket coverages with blanket limits. And we do have the ability to offer a master schedule for multiple structures. So you don't need to have a lot of individual policies. You can go ahead and put them all on one. Same exact exclusions. It's going to be, those foodstuffs, perishable goods, mobile homes, properties built on still silver water, and anything that's not participating, that's in a non-participating community or a structure located in a coastal barrier area. Submission requirements for this program, pretty standard. It's going to be your a court application, a dual supplemental, an Excel SOV if you do have multiple locations, a confirmation of no prior flood losses, lost runs, and although an elevation certificate is not required for all zones, it is required for anything primary, post-firm A or V zones, or excess, post-firm, or high hazard zones. So jumping to our web rater, with our web rater, we are able to offer instant quoting, binding, and payment online. It has a straightforward user interface. It's very user-friendly, and I am always available to do a one-on-one demo or training if that's something that anybody needs. With same exact carrier options, we can also quote standalone excess as well. The best use of the portal is going to be single locations with one building. So not one location with multiple buildings, but a single location with one building on it. And again, keeping that TIV of 5 million or less. Same thing as before, the appetite does vary across all three carriers. So it really is best to attempt the risk first in the portal. And if it does need to be looked at manually, of course, we can absolutely go ahead and do that. The portal is also, it's CAT score based. So the eligibility does depend on what the score comes back as, but just to give you an idea, a CAT risk score of 9 or 10 is going to be considered as too high. And for a flood score, anything over 50 is going to be considered too high. You do need a login to be able to access the portal, which you will receive once you have completed your appointment, which brings us into the appointment process. So if you don't already have a login, then you would need to become appointed. As David will demonstrate, you will begin your quote on the Appulate system. Once you have received your quote options and you're ready to finalize, you will select the button that's going to be towards the right of the screen, and that's going to be labeled Finish Submission. From there, you will be directed to me so that I can go ahead and assist with getting you set up in our system. The process is very easy. I will be bringing in our producer team. We will provide a link where you will then go answer some questions and upload the required documents, which are going to be the W-9, a license for both yourself and your agency, E&O deck pages, and of course, a completed master agreement. Once that is complete, you can then jump back into that Appulate system to finish up that quote. If you do already have a login, then when you hit that Finish Submission button, you'll actually just be automatically directed to our portal page so that you can complete that quote. And that's what you'll see with David's demo in a minute. So with that, I will pass it back to David. Thank you so much.
Great job, Jennifer. Thank you. We did get a couple questions. Do you want me to read those aloud, Jennifer, or do you want to try to go into the question section while I'm doing the demo and try to answer them there?
I can try to pop it out.
Okay. If you want to go ahead and pass it over to me as presenter.
Yeah. Okay. All right, you should be set.
Perfect. All right, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect, okay. So we're going to do a little different method today than we've done in some of our previous demos. So since when I was an agent, typically I would write flood with maybe a homeowner's policy or other policies and kind of run them in tandem, we're going to kind of go off the premise that maybe you just completed a homeowner's quote and now you're wanting to go in and you're wanting to do a flood quote. Since most of the information is already in the system, it's going to allow you to quickly move right into a quote for dual. So how we would do that is once you log into the Appulate system, it would look something like here, like this. So if you're a homeowner, you would simply just click here, and it brings you to kind of our main screen here. And give me just a sec here. There we go. So we see that homeowner's quote shown here. But what we would do now is we'd go in and we hit request quote, and now we can start a new quote. And any of that data that we used for that homeowners that is applicable to this one will transfer over, like addresses, things like that. So here I'm going to select flood personal. Okay, we're going to continue. So, and now we're going to select dual here. Okay, now I have a testing account that we're going to use, but this is the dual that you're going to see right here. So I'm going to go ahead and click add markets. So again, we're going to use the testing one because I don't want to push the numbers to our production account. So you would just use the dual one here. But all we're going to do is hit start quote. And from here, what we're going to do is we're going to go through and we're going to answer as many of these questions as we can. So if you notice these little red asterisks, is this a loan originating policy? We'll just say no. And this is where some of the questions that Jennifer was mentioning earlier will be applicable. So like, if there's like no loan on this policy, there's like a 7-day waiting period, just things like that would be applicable. So we have address that was preloaded from our homeowners application we just did, so we didn't need to fill that in. But as you can see, there's many other blanks that are empty that maybe I didn't enter in the homeowners or I just need to here. So I'm just going to continue to go through this selection here. Okay. We'll just say it's a brand new home. Select slab, frame, and all this is really straightforward. Now, let's say there's a few questions here that we're just not sure of the answers on. Normally what we would do is we'd reach out and we would get a hold of our insured to find those answers. Well, what we can do is we can use the technology built into Appulate to do this for you. So I can simply hit this Ask Insured button, and I can go in and I can say, put the customer's name in. We'll just say test to testclean.com or something similar here, and then we'll go into the questions. Now, if you notice here, this expands out to all the questions. So what we can do is we can go through here and go, oh, hey, I need to know what their limits they're looking for, right? Maybe I didn't get that. And maybe I didn't get a few of these others, but I've already got this stuff up here. So I can uncheck the things that I don't want to send, leaving it to just the things that I do want. And I can uncheck or check anything I want in this, but the key here is what this is going to do. I'm just going to move a few of these windows out of the way, is it's going to give me a link that I'm going to email my customer with all these questions that I'm sending. Now, right now they're grayed out because it's a preview. But when I send this over to the customer, and again, I apologize, there's all these little windows in my way here. What the customer will do is they'll go in, they'll answer these questions, they'll hit save, and then that data has now been loaded back up in the Appulate system. So then you would just literally go out of this quote, you would go back into the quote, and what you would find is the data that they had completed for you has now been added back into the system for you. So you don't need to send that email, take the responses and feed it back in. You're using technology to fill those solutions for you. So it's really neat that way. But we'll continue with the quote as though we had that information to begin with. So I'm just going to keep going down here. Just answering, putting some limits in here. Just putting some dummy information in here. Okay, there's the mailing address. With the description, we'll just say personal contents or whatever. Yep. Select our deductible, 1,000. Now at this point, we've satisfied all the questions that are required here. So we're going to go ahead and hit request quote. Now it's important to note that with Dual, the API integration that we have with them is very sophisticated and very good. So what this is going to do is this is going to bring us back somewhere between 3 and 6 different quotes. So instead of just giving us one and being done, they're going to give us different limits and all this stuff that's pre-selected for us and allow you to really tailor this to what your client's looking for. But the caveat to that is this does take a prolonged period of time. So we're looking probably 30 to 45 seconds, maybe up to a minute for this to kind of push the way through here. So if you can just be patient for a moment here, you'll see this will continue here in just a moment. Now, if you cancel this tab or leave this tab, you do run the risk of the API not pushing all the data back. So you just have to be patient for just a moment here. But it'll take effect with the other screen in just a moment. You'll see everything here. Any moment now. There we go. Okay. So as you can tell here, we've got a lot of different coverages and a lot of different quotes. We've got Lloyd's quotes. We've got 4 from Lloyd's. We've got 2 from Berkshire here. And if you read the numbers here, we see there's deductible. So it's 250 or different levels of coverage and different levels of deductibles. So like building contents, 50,000, building limit 250. We've got deductibles here. So basically what you do is you go through and you'd find which quote you wanted to move forward with, and then you would go to the finish submission. Now, as Jennifer had stated earlier, if you're not appointed, the moment you click this finish submission, you're going to get a different screen than I'm getting. What you'll get is a pop-up that'll basically say, connect with Jennifer, and you'll go through that process of getting an appointment. Because the way the dual system works is the moment you click this, it's going to check your email address to see if you're an agent that is appointed. And if you're not, you'll get the flag telling you what you need to do. But if you are, you'll see what I do here. So I'm going to finish submission here. It's going to take me to Dual's website. It's going to ask me to log in. And again, once you're appointed, you'll be able to do this. You'll have all those information. Take them here. Try it again. Go. I hit sign in. And then from here, you're now into the Dual system, and they'll need to train you a little bit on how to move through their system. But this is where you'll finalize your quote. So the main advantage here is Appulate is collecting all of the data along the way, bridging it into their system for you, making it super easy to move through their quotes and everything. Additionally here, like I said at the very, very beginning, if you've got other quotes you're already doing in Appulate, this makes it super easy to get a quote from Dual. It's just a few clicks, answer a few questions, and you're moving right forward. Does anybody have any questions on the presentation today? I know I might have gone a little quick, but I wanted to kind of just check in with everybody here. Looks like Jennifer's getting some of the questions answered so far. If you guys have any questions right now, it's a perfect time to go ahead and drop them right into the questions box here on the right-hand side.
I've been trying to get them as they come. I also put in the chat my contact information for anybody who would like any additional information or wants to just reach out to start that process of getting set up with Dual.
Perfect. So just so everybody knows, everybody today, I believe, Jennifer, am I correct? You're going to reach out to everybody today with a copy of the webinar?
Yes, I will definitely follow up with every single person who has who's attending. Yeah.
Perfect. So that's usually a question we always get on these webinars is, can I get a copy of this? Absolutely, we'll get that out to you. And I'm sure Jennifer will probably even send some additional information when she sends that out for appointment processes if you guys are interested. All right, I'm not seeing any additional questions. Is the surplus filing done by Dual?
Yes, we are able to file in all 50 states.
Perfect.
You also do have the option to do it yourself, but we do have that ability.
Perfect. Anybody else have any additional questions? We got the expert here. Today's the time to ask.
Loose term, but I'll take it. Yeah, and if you guys think of any other questions like after the fact, please feel free to just directly reach out and I can go ahead and get those questions answered for you.
Yeah, and additionally, if you guys have questions on how to use Appulate, or let's say you're brand new to it, feel free to email me directly. My email is super easy. It's D for David, and then King, King, so dking at appulate.com. Feel free to send those over to me on if you just have basic questions like how do I get started, or I haven't used it in years. How do I, what do I need to do to get my account restarted? Things like that. I'm happy to help you guys. Jacqueline, great question. It's hard to tell if you have a login. The easiest way to tell, I'm gonna go ahead and log out here, is go to appulate.com up top, go to login here, and hit forgot password. Okay, Joanne. Okay, no worries. Or Joni, excuse me. I'm sorry. Yeah, so you just follow the steps here. Type your email address in that you used for the webinar today. If we email the one we emailed you to originally is the one that should have an account in Appulate. That's kind of how we usually have our databases. The emails in the system, it's either you have an Appulate account or maybe you've used Appulate at one point, and that's usually how we have our database. So if you're not sure, use your password reset to find out. If you don't, and maybe you organically did join today, there's a button down at the bottom called sign up. You can just follow the steps there. But I would try the forget password first. And if you struggle with that at all, again, my email is dking@appulate.com. Feel free to shoot me that email. I'll either be able to help you myself or I'll get my support team to assist you further. You're very welcome. All righty, everybody. This was a very, very short but effective demo today. Would love to give you guys back your day unless we have any additional questions. All right, everybody. Well, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up for today. Again, Jennifer will be reaching out to everyone very soon with everything. We do appreciate your time, and thanks for joining the webinar today. Have a great day,
Thanks so
everybody.
much, David.
You're welcome, Jennifer. It was great, great webinar today. Thank you. Bye-bye.